What is going on, guys? Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back out to the park. It's a beautiful night for flying. A little bit overcast, but there's no wind at all. And you guys like the FT Mustang comparison I posted last night, so I thought I'd come back out with another comparison here with two prop and slot jets. These are obviously both foam board from Flight Test. We've got the Flight Test Mini Vector here and the Flight Test 22. This is the larger one, so I may do a comparison a little bit later down the road with the Mini FT22. This is just the one I have built up right now, but it's always good to kind of show some differences here. So this one is a little bit larger of an airplane. Let's go ahead and just jump into my battery spec comparison here. You'll notice I'm running a 1300 milliamp hour T2 battery over here and a 700 milliamp hour Turnigy pack over here. This is actually designed to be an ultralight setup right here on this one, just for maximum power and performance. So yeah, you could run all the way probably up to like a 2000 or 2200 milliamp hour pack on this machine right here, but for my ultralight setup, I guess it's not really comparable between these two, but they both really work well at about like an 850 to 1000 milliamp hour pack each. So I guess it's kind of up to your interpretation on how you want to fly the airplane. So yeah, other than that, I mean, of course, this one's a little bigger, like I said, so we're running a larger motor system like Power Pack B or C spec, and this one is a Power Pack A or F, but pretty much always like the F pack with the 2207 that I'm currently running. And I'll get more into the specs on my motors, my build, and things like that as we get farther into this video. But first things first, let's go ahead and get the FT22 up in the air. Let's go ahead and fly the FT22 now, and we're going to do a wingtip launch because of this big prop back there, but here we go. Here we are, guys. As you can see, we're running a bigger prop, and the ultralight setup is really nice on this airplane. You can see we've got quite a bit of power. That is a pretty fast FT22. This is normally regarded to as a slower flying airplane that kind of specializes in maneuverable high alpha, but this is a bit of a faster airplane now with a 2200 kV motor and an 8-inch prop. But yeah, I'm just chilling around here at about half throttle, maybe a third throttle. That's all this thing needs, really. I mean, it flies super respectably and commanding in this, you know, nice calm attitude. I have actually flown this thing on previous FT22s in like 40-mile-per-hour winds, and it flies great there too. But as you can probably tell, this is a very loud airframe. It's the prop and slot. Even this bow tie kind of design here is still not preventing a loud sound coming from it, but it does sound a lot like a jet, and it's really cool. But got some nice rates on here. It does have really big control surfaces on this thing, so you can go ham on the rates. I haven't quite gotten there with this thing. This is actually the second flight on this airplane, the first one being the maiden. But this thing is flying really nicely, and it's a lot of fun. Just kind of buzzing by at full throttle is really cool. Yeah, I'm not expecting the battery to last very long on this thing, but I mean, obviously, it is only 700 milliamp hours, so I guess I really can't complain. But I mean, seriously, a really nice flying airplane, completely respectable, and definitely something that I really can't find anywhere else. There's my full roll rate. It's not crazy, but definitely is plenty for this airplane. It's really smooth for a prop and slot design, and it actually does glide pretty well for having no airfoil at all. There's about a quarter throttle right there, and it still is, again, very respectable in terms of its demeanor. It's not quick to stall, but yeah, really happy with that. So to kind of highlight the you know, the flight performance to be expected, it is smooth, it's maneuverable, but it is normally regarded as very slow. So while this is still pretty fast, on a typical Power Pack C or a B setup on here, you're probably going to get a little bit slower than this. So I would expect just a little bit slower of a flying airplane altogether with this plane. In terms of the build, most prop and slot jets with a single sheet of foam are very easy to build as well. So that's pretty much it for the pack there. Let's go ahead and bring this in for a landing. Just like that. Let's go ahead and fly the FT Mini Vector now. Alright, so now we have the FT Vector and it's all ready to go, all plugged in, balanced out properly. This one actually has a variable CG depending on the flight performance, but I got it set to the midway setting for favorable characteristics in both slow and fast flight. But let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air. I always like to launch this one from the nose and just let it take off like this. All right, so as you can see, we're up here with the FT Mini Vector. And right off the bat, the first thing you're going to notice with this plane is that it is a lot more lively, it seems, than the FT22. That isn't necessarily a bad thing for the FT22. This one just feels like it has more static thrust to it, as well as it just feels, I mean, a little bit more maneuverable with the stock rate setup. So yeah, and just kind of, this is a pretty standard Power Pack F setup. It is a Sunny Sky 2207S 2100 kV motor with a ZTW Beetles 30 amp ESC. So it's a smaller, like, race quad style motor, and it works really well. I'm happy with how it flies. But yeah, that's kind of the benchmark. Just in general, if you're running a Power Pack F setup, this is going to be a little bit more lively. Obviously a little bit faster as well on the sticks with this airplane, so that's to be expected, especially if you're running a 6-inch prop like I am. This is a 6x4.5x3 prop from HQ, so it's a tri-blade, and this thing is just a lot of fun to fly. You can see it goes really fast, of course. I mean, it's not crazy, it's probably like 40 miles per hour or so. Yeah, a lot of fun. But you can also see one thing about this plane that's really cool is that it actually high alphas really well. So yeah, you saw it there. I mean, it's pretty fun to high alpha. It's just very maneuverable in general, and it's a lot of fun to fly in that regard. Now, one thing I also want to mention about this plane is that it does have the option for a rudder if you're interested in something like that. So you can actually do a under-mounted rudder, so rudder under the wing, kind of on that vertical stabilizer piece that's under behind the slot, but under the main wing piece, which is kind of cool. But I don't think it has that big of effect, so I never really installed it on my FT Mini Vector. So yeah, this is about a 2-sheet build. They're both 2 sheets of foam to build. This one, in my opinion, flies a little bit more consistent and nicer, and is more suited for my more aggressive flying style. But both will really do the job, and they're both a lot of fun to fly if you're into these jets. They're really loud. And obviously, like I said, lots of fun. Let's go ahead and bring this one in for a landing and do a summary of this, the conclusions of this comparison. Alright, so in conclusion tonight, these two actually have a lot of similar characteristics. However, if you're looking for something more snappy and aerobatic, I definitely recommend the Vector. However, something more chill, maneuverable, a little bit slower, I'd say more beginner-oriented, you're going to have a lot better experience with the FT22. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I will try to do some sort of mini FT22 video in comparison to the Vector, because obviously they do make a mini version of this one right here. And also, something I forgot to mention is that if you're looking for the individual build videos or the flight videos that I've previously done on the channel with these two airplanes to help you decide, that additional content will be found in the link in the description below. So yeah, more of a snappy aerobatic plane over here that's still a lot of fun and is decently fast but can high alpha really well. Is found kind of over in the FT Mini Vector. However, if you want something more beginner oriented that you can learn basic aerobatics with, you're gonna have a really good experience with the FT22. That's it from me, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I love doing these videos for you. It'd be great if you can show your support. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.